Hi Geminis, this is Terribly Accurate. Thanks for showing up to watch this video. If you're new, welcome. If you're coming back, thanks so much for coming back. I appreciate that you do come back and all of your likes, shares, subscribes, and comments. That's really great. I really appreciate you. So this is a love reading for April 5th through May 5th. And the reason why I'm doing a love reading is just because the general readings that I do every month don't expire for like another week or so here. And so oftentimes I feel like it's good to watch those in the beginning and then the middle and the end of the month, just because the energies kind of shift and change. And then when you're doing something for a whole month, the energies may not make sense yet. For example, I had a message earlier today in my personal life about a Cancer Aquarius. And I was like, I don't know any Cancer Aquarius. Like, I know a Cancer Gemini. I know like a Capricorn Cancer, but I don't know any Cancer Aquarians. Like, that's just so strange to me. And then like 11 p.m., it totally made sense. I knew exactly who they were talking about. So anyway, the same will be true. The point is, the same will be true for this video when, a couple weeks from now, and then towards the end of the month, you might want to go back and watch it so that you can kind of refresh in your mind what's going on, and then maybe some of the things that might not resonate or make sense immediately will then. But as I'm shuffling, I was planning to start with Cancer singles. This one jumps out here, the Page of Wands in reverse. So we'll just go ahead and get started. I do want to mention, though, that this is for Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising. And so if you are a Cancer Moon, this will probably resonate the best for you that way. But like oftentimes sun signs resonate as well. But I feel like your moon sign usually resonates the hardest. At least for me it does in love readings. Okay, so we've got the Page of Wands in reverse, the Lovers in reverse, the Moon card, and then the Five of Cups hiding the Six of Wands and the Knight of Cups in reverse. Okay, so did I say Cancers? I meant Geminis. We're doing this for Geminis. S. Sorry. This is for Geminis. Let me make that super clear. Gemini, Moon, Sun, Rising. Since I was talking about Cancers earlier, totally messed that up, but these are for Geminis. Okay. Page of Wands in reverse. So I feel like right now, for those of you who are single, it's just kind of like not on your list to be enthusiastic and like go out and try to find a mate. It just isn't. Which is interesting if you're watching the video, right? For your love forecast. But some of you kind of just like given up hope, or you feel like the people that you're meeting are just not well suited to you. Some of you have recently been hurt, been in love triangles, been cheated on. Maybe you felt like, maybe some of you have been the cheater. Some of you just are like having a hard time really communicating effectively with other people and like making good connections. And the reason for this is that you're not necessarily like as focused on the right things in trying to find a mate. Like, so some of you are too focused on material things. Like, oh, well, that person wouldn't be good for me because they work here or there and like their job is not, as good as you'd want. Or some of you are like, oh, that person's like perfect for me, except for they have like this really ugly mole on their face or something like that. Like, some of you are being a little bit too exclusive, okay? Some of you are just very distrusting because of past relationships and experiences that have happened. Some of you are kind of just hoping that the right thing falls into your lap, right? Like, you're kind of like overly optimistic, like, oh, okay, well, the person that I'm supposed to meet is just gonna like show up. Like that's my destiny. That's what would happen. And so that's sort of accurate, but it sort of isn't, because if you're not taking the steps to put yourself in the right place for that person to come find you, like if you're in your house all the time and you never leave, like if you have agoraphobia, like nobody's gonna show up. Like you have like the mailman, maybe, right? What if he's married already? What if he's already met his soulmate? You know, or hers. So that's kind of something that's going on here. Um, some of you are kind of pessimistic though. Like really, that's kind of the energy that I'm getting here, is a lot of like pessimism. You're like hopeful, like you're optimistic on the one hand. You're like, oh yeah, it'll work out. I'll meet the right person, all of that. But at the same time, like you have, like you're kind of complaining, like why hasn't this happened yet? So like your energies are combating each other. You're a little bit more focused sometimes on things from the past that went wrong instead of the things in your past relationships that went right. And so that's kind of why you're not being successful, right? In attracting and like finding the next person, because the law of attraction isn't working exactly right for you. Because even though on the one hand, like you're hopeful and positive, like on the other hand, like the negative thoughts that you have are kind of more than the positive, and so the universe doesn't know what to do with that. It's like, okay, let's send this person this, but wait, no, that's not what they want, you know. Um, you're also a little bit closed off emotionally. Like you're just not really wanting to rush out and give anyone your heart right now. And to be honest, part of that's because of distrust. Not everybody is trustworthy, and I don't think that that's an unhealthy thing. I don't think that people should be, dumping their all into a relationship optimistically, like just trusting that it's going to be wonderful and that's your soulmate, like the first time that you meet somebody. That would be crazy, right? But you might be too emotionally shut off right now. So how do we fix this besides the obvious, positive self-talk and positive affirmations, like staying positive? It's saying, this might be a message for a few of you. And because this is kind of a very specific message. So this is funny because it's like, don't be the drunk gossip, okay? Don't be going out, getting hammered, talking about other people. Like, don't do that at all. That's what that's saying. It's also saying, not to be unrealistic either. And then not to put too much gusto and like excitement and enthusiasm into people that you just meet, because it might be a waste of your time. But what is it that you should do? What else do we have here? Okay, interesting. So the way that these lay out for me, because it's like reversed through the computer there, is this one goes first. Whoops. And so you have the Eight of Swords, the Tower card in reverse, and then the Queen of Swords. So for the rest of you who are not getting drunk, getting rolling all the time, okay? This is more about like challenging yourself to free yourself from the negative thoughts, and know like that everything that happened in the past like was actually a good thing because you learned from it. Now you know what you don't want. You know what kind of things and what kind of people to avoid. Like now you can find something better. So just kind of focus on that and remember that. So the Queen of Swords here is, she's been there, done that. She's seen it all. She's, been through kind of the ringer in terms of relationships. She's also an air sign, so that is you, Gemini. But, she's sitting here on her throne and she's been through divorce, through heartache, through cheating. Like, she's experienced like everything. Like, if not firsthand, like through support and friends and things, like nothing surprises her. You know, like all of this storm here behind her, like she's seen it all. Like, she is like very like discerning and like decisive, and she knows what she wants. So that's her right here. That's you. Okay. Um, you're getting clear about what it is that you want and what you will and will not put up with. But while you're doing that, and while people might see you as kind of harsh and kind of, you know, particular, like maybe even, what's the word? I don't want to say the B word, but it's more like, hmm, kind of like a woman who's been scorned, right? Like, she's someone you don't really mess with. On the other hand, though, you're saying, okay, here's my hand, though. I'm offering that out now. Like, I am saying, okay, I'm smarter now as a result of all of this crap that happened in my life before that hurt me. I won't put up with that anymore, but I'm extending a hand out to you if you promise not to hurt me. But if you do hurt me, I'll F you up. I have a sword right here and I'll cut your head off. But, you know, come close. I'm willing to try again. You know, so she's a little bit stern, a little bit serious, but she's really, really smart. People admire that about her. She's a good communicator. She doesn't beat around the bush. And especially if you're like Geminis, you're all about communication. That's what you do. You're talkers for sure. And you know, like Geminis too, you have two sides, right? So this is only one aspect. Because here's the other aspect. You know, like a queen sometimes like this might shut herself off from the world, like might shut down. But you're extending your hand out, being like, okay, come here, I'm ready for you now. And a lot of you are ready to be in a relationship now. It's just that you're not really attracting the right people because you might not be saying positive affirmations like in your mind. Like, you're not thinking. You might be saying things positively, but not like actually believing them and thinking them hard enough. Okay, because of all of the things that you remember as the Queen of Swords. So for couple Geminis, what's going on April 5th through May 5th? Let's find out. Okay, interesting. You have the Six of Wands and the Ten of Cups in reverse with the Page of Cups in reverse. A lot of reverse cards. Again, with the Eight of Swords, so similar themes, whether you're coupled or single. And the Two of Wands, and we're just going to get one more here. And then the Ten of Swords. Okay, so starting off the month for coupled Geminis, might not be feeling like things are going exactly as planned, like at all, okay? Like, your relationship is just, like, you don't have like all of the happy stability, like family thing that you want. Maybe you're having a hard time getting pregnant. Maybe you're having a hard time finding a place to live with your spouse or your partner. Maybe you're having it feels like you're having like a really hard time finding fun, finding joy. Also, kind of convincing them to like get on the same page with you. And like, you feel like you're probably communicating effectively right now, but maybe they're not, okay? Like, the communication is pretty good, but like one of you, I feel like your partner is understanding you, but you might not be understanding certain things about your partner, and that might be because maybe they're not communicating at all, like they're omitting things. Maybe they are not. Maybe they're being like as honest and clear as they can, but they just aren't as seasoned of a communicator as you are. But yeah, like kind of starting out this month, things are just not necessarily going as you pictured, as you had hoped in your mind. Okay? And you're a little bit afraid to admit that to yourself. You're a little bit afraid to like see the situation for what it is, because you'd rather just like look at things like one problem at a time instead of having like a really large like world view as to what's going on. Like, and maybe that's where some of that disconnect is with your partner, where it's like they're looking at the big picture and you're looking at the tiny details of a situation. So your challenge is more to try to see things on a broader scale. It's not to say that they're right and you're wrong, nothing like that, but it's like try to stay focused on the big picture, okay? Like for whatever challenge you're going through with your relationship right now, for every person, for every couple, it might be a little bit different. But by May 5th, you know, like all of the challenges that you go through, there will be learning experiences, but they're not going to hurt you as badly as it seems. Okay, like you have a lot of fear in the month between April and May where you're kind of like, oh my gosh, this is gonna hurt. Like all of these challenges that we're going through, like things aren't exactly as we want them to, and now I'm gonna get hurt. Like you're really worried about that, but you don't actually have to be worried. Like because a lot of these things, like they're behind you. Like any hurt that you would experience are like hurts that you're like scared of history kind of repeating itself, you know? Like you're afraid of like past patterns, like past things coming back. Like even if this is a different, even from like different relationships, like you're like, oh my gosh, like in a past relationship, a similar scenario happened and this is how it ended and that was really bad and then I was really hurt. This is not the same relationship, right? Or maybe a scenario that's like very similar, like for example, like maybe you couldn't pay your mortgage a few months ago and then it ended up to be a really big fight and a disaster with you and your partner if you live together or something like that, and then that happens again now, but the way that you communicated last time, like yeah, everything really sucked and your relationship suffered, but you both learned from that, and so then this time if that happens, it's not as big of a deal, you know? Like you don't fight like you think you're going to. Like you don't have like the heartache and the hurt and the disappointment in the same way. So you really need to look at things from a broad picture. And actually, I don't want you guys, I feel like when I brought that up, like, oh, well, maybe this is the situation, you have nothing to indicate that there's anything wrong with money. It was just like a random example, like something that somebody could fight about. But it doesn't say like any of this is about money at all. It's more just like about emotional, like what you expected, like what you really wanted, maybe didn't happen and you're disappointed about that, but not like in like a very like, it's not like your partner did something to you. It's more like just things didn't work out the way that you wanted them to. But so then, you know, after all of this though, like you really learn how to give more to each other. Okay, so this is something that you should get through, as long as you remember that this relationship is growing, right? And it's not a relationship from the past with somebody else. Okay, so if you would like a personal private reading, my information is all below in the description box. But otherwise, I will see you soon for your general monthlies. Bye. Mwah. Thanks, Geminis.